We must restore confidence and optimism in our economy, accountability in our markets, and stability to our middle class. The point of this reform bill is not to punish the financial services industry. I know how angry people are at the mismanagement that led to this crisis. The bill I present today has 11 titles, many of which reflect bipartisan consensus. Let me briefly discuss the 4 major reforms in this bill. Not all the reforms, but the major ones. First, the legislation will end too-big-to-fail bailouts. Never again should the American taxpayer be asked to write a check because of an implicit guarantee that the federal government will bail out a company when it collapses. Secondly, this legislation will create a strong and independent consumer protection watchdog. This crisis started when people were given mortgages they didn't understand and could never afford. The important part is that the consumer protection watchdog has the independence and the authority it needs to get the job done. It will be there to protect consumers from the abuses that we've seen become almost standard operating procedures: skyrocketing credit card interest rates, the explosion of checking account fees, predatory lending by mortgage firms, and much more. Third, this legislation will create an early warning system so that someone is tasked with looking out for the next crisis, which will surely come. We will create a systemic risk council with a job of scanning the economic radar to identify unsafe products or practices that could threaten our economic stability, and the authority to stop them when they occur. We were caught off guard by the subprime lending crisis. We cannot ever allow that to happen again. And fourth, this legislation will bring transparency and accountability to exotic instruments like hedge funds and derivatives that have for far too long lurked in the shadows of our economy. These activities left investors open to tremendous risks they didn't even know existed. Billions of dollars were traded, or perhaps the better word is gambled, behind closed doors. This, too, must stop.